Hey, welcome to the Beers Jack of Barbecue. Check out the Berkshire Pork Chops we cooked on the Kamado Joe. Hey, I'm Craig, man behind the camera's Jack. As you've been seeing, we've done a little bit of different steaks from Pat LaFrieda. Just like I said, it was a television show some years ago. They service some high-end steakhouses in New York City, but they have Berkshire Pork Chops. So I bought two of them for Jack and I tried. I actually bought two in the past when we did something for, I think it was Mother's Day. I tried two pork chops and I did them on the gas grill and I did them just kind of hot and fast in a sense. And I thought they got a little dry, and I also didn't salt them because previous pork chops we've been using I think have a little bit of a salt brine in them that I don't do, but it's because they seem salty. So I thought we lost some moisture. So this time I kosher salt season them, or sea salt season them 24 hours in advance. Gonna put them in the Kamado Joe, bring them up slowly, and then just do a little sear at the end, see if I can contain all that moisture in this type of pork chop, because it really should be in there. And again, I think it was me that screwed up that last one. So, like I said, gonna probably put these on, flip them about 100, bring them out to around 135 to 140. Get the Kamado Joe fired up a little more and do some searing on there. I got it set up for direct and indirect. And monitor them with the Chef's Temp Pro 10 Plus too. So let's get them on the grill. All right, let's get these pork chops on and start letting them warm up. Boy, they're big though. Bring it back when we get probably towards 100, 80 to 100 before we flip them. All right, so we just hit 100 degrees, so let's just give them a flip, and like I said, we'll just promote some even cooking. We'll bring it back. We're gonna probably go towards the 140 mark because we're not gonna put a whole lot of sear on a pork chop. All right, so we just hit 140, so I just want to double check things, make sure we're all good. That one's showing a little low yet. And again, it depends on where I'm hitting, 137. And again, we're gonna sear on top. You know what? I think I'm gonna pull them off because they're gonna keep rising while they sit here, and then we'll get the grill set up and I'll be searing on the indirect side there. Bring it back shortly. All right, so I did move the racks around to get everything to be on the searing side of things. We did drop down to, it did raise to about 145, or to 145, then it dropped down. We're around 140 right now, so we'll just try to get some searing done. Check temperatures, but 145 to 150. Again, my wife likes them done towards the 150, so get some searing done. Close the grill for now. All right, there's about a minute. As I said, we don't want to do a whole lot with pork. It does have a fatty cap on it though, so, but boy, ooh, that looks nice already. Close it one more time, then we might leave the grill open after that. All right, so that's just a little bit over a minute. Grill's running a little over 400, but it's showing a higher temperature on the pros right now. I'm gonna leave it open right now. This side can definitely take some more. We'll switch them up over here a little bit. Vent in the bottom's wide open. See what it would look like color-wise. Take a little more on that one. Take a little more on that one. But temperature is getting there. It's starting to rise now back again. So like I said, it went to 145 and now it went to 140. Now we're back at 144. So I don't want to go too much on these. And I will take another reading before I pull them for sure. You know, that doesn't look as pretty as it should. That one's kind of nice. Try to get a reading here. 39 there, but like I said, I'll get this one a little bit more time. The other one's going to come off because again, it's going to keep rising on us. one's coming off now. We're gonna let that just continue to rise as it sits here. I will cover it. In fact, I want to make sure that everybody can see that temperature. Still showing 138.7, 138.5 there, but it's going to keep rising. And again, we were at 145, so a little crispy on that side. But again, that sear is always not an issue. See you on the cutting board. As always, cheers. Here we are, end of the cook. Pat LaFrieda, like I said, heritage pork chops. 20-ounce pork chops, nice and big. Did salt brine them 24 hours in advance. Kind of slowly brought them up temperature. They both were reading around 145 when I pulled them off. Let them both drop down in below the 140s. This one seemed to struggle to get back up the temp, which is not a problem. But it did get a little bit harder sear than I prefer. But don't look bad. And before anybody said anything, it's not burnt. This one here kind of is almost like perfect. So I'm actually going to cut into both of them. This one was still reading around 140 when we did it. But like I said, we should be, if there's a slight touch of pink in here, which is like perfect for pork. And actually, no, it's almost completely perfect. This one here should be just as good as well. And that is as well. We'll kind of show you that way there. So I'm interested because I normally don't sear pork real hard for myself. There's a little fattier on the edge, which again, for pork, I really like that because you get that crispy flavor of the pork with the fat. Boy, it looks good. Wow. So as I mentioned in the beginning, I did these steaks for my wife and I on the gas grill, and I just kind of went hot and fast in a sense. Thought I dried them out. And again, I thought it was my fault, and I just proved to myself it was 100% my fault from the last time. Salt brine these 24 in advance, brought them up slowly, did a little sear at the end. They are so juicy. This is going to be a good meal. Hopefully I was seeing, subscribe to the channel, click the bell, get notifications, and we'll see you next time.